2, 1, let's go.
Try to run from the switch, we catch him. Dumb ass ain't make it too far. Whole lot of shots in the car. I shoot to the mall. I'm in the cut with a up, try to fuck me up. Gotta stick with a drum. They like, who that? I'm throwing shots, they try to run. True it.
You start to freeze, and so it looks you right between the eyes.
Jumped off the bench and I turned into a star. I'm a baller. Anywhere I go, my gang, they know who we are.
You can't even see me on FaceTime. Bitch just asked if I'm the one to DM on the fence. That ain't me, bitch, that's fake John.
Money, Wally P, shout out my label. That's me. I own 100% of my cuts. Bitch, nobody taking a
Back at it again with another reaction video, man. Back at it again with another banger, man. First reaction video of the day, first banger of the day, man. You guys don't know what the deal is, man. You guys already know what the deal is, man. First reaction video of the day, man. I'm excited. Today we got most disturbing encounters in the woods, man. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what the vibes are. Let's see if this shit actually scary. Because the first one that I did of this was actually type scary. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was like, what the fuck? But we about to see what's going on. We about to see what the vibes are, man. It's currently 5:49 p.m. Expect 2 videos to be dropping today. We got 2 reaction videos today. This is the first one. The second one is a policeman video. You already know what the deal is. We're going to react to that right after this. So expect these to be dropping around 8:15, 8:20 p.m. But they will be dropping soon. So y'all stay tuned, man. You already know what the deal is. It's May 1st. It's the first day of May. So we got to get in tune. We got to stay focused. We got to stay positive, man. It's honestly crazy. April came and went that quick. Let's see what the vibes are. Let's see what's going on, man. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Before we get into everything, hope you guys having a blessed day. Stay lit, stay on top of your grind. Likewise, get to that bag, go get that bag. Want to go get it? Nobody's going to get that bag for you, and that's a fact, man. You got a dream goal aspiration. Go chase that dream goal aspiration. Subscriber shout out. Why? We just reached 25.3K subs. 25.3K subs, man. Meme Guy 69, Meme Guy 69. Thank you for joining the squad. Thank you for joining the champions. And thank you for joining the journey, man. Now, enough talking. Let's get into it, man. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
In 2014, a man named Ethan and his wife Danny were spending a weekend together on Vancouver Island, which they had done many times before. The couple has a lot of experience on the island and just camping in general. Vancouver Island provides an optimal camping setting because of its mix of scenic beaches and dense forest. The couple had many successful camping trips on the island, until something truly terrifying happened to them on their final outing on the island.
Talk to me, bro.
Ethan and Danny were far from any roads or civilization, enjoying the solitude. They set up camp on a beach a good distance from anywhere and kept a...
See, that's the thing about this stuff, bro. The first one says the voices. I'm guessing it's something in the water telling them to jump in the water or something, you feel me? The fisherman's ghost or whatever the fuck they call that shit. Bro, that's the thing. You mad far from people, right? Which means you basically don't have cell phone service. That's the number one thing about it. Number 2, you think you're going out for like a great day, a great night or whatever, a great weekend, and some shit always happens.
Fire going.
Always
to get to the trail leaving the beach was a kilometer along the beach and 2 kilometers to the road through the forest. The couple had met another camper named Leon from New Zealand, who they ran into earlier that day on the beach.
Leon from New Zealand,
Leon was planning on sleeping in his van, which he parked back up on the road. The couple invited him down to the beach for a fire, and the 3 shared a bottle of wine, talking amongst themselves around the fire. This is where things started to get a little creepy. The sun was starting to go down by this point, and the trio kept hearing what sounded like female voices from behind them in the bushes, dividing the beach from the forest. It wasn't too dark out yet, though, so it was still possible that they were just other hikers or campers nearby, or even a group who anchored offshore and the sound was just bouncing in a weird way. All 3 of them could agree that they were hearing female voices, though. On that note, it was getting late and a little dark, so Leon said goodbye and set out to hike back to his car before it was too dark. Ethan and Danny stayed by their campsite and stoked the fire because Danny was starting to get creeped out by the voices, which continued on into the darkness. It sounded like 2 female voices speaking, but whatever that was being said was unintelligible. It sounded to the couple like the voices were not far beyond the tree line now. They stayed up very late tending to the fire, and only when the voices had finally stopped, they decided to put out the fire and go to sleep in the tent. Before doing so, the 2 had scanned the cove with a flashlight several times looking for boats that could have been the source of the talking, but there was nothing in sight. It was around 3 a.m. when they laid down finally.
You shouldn't be able to hear someone talking from a boat. Plus there's water waves and all that shit going on.
Ready to catch some
What kind of boat
shut-eye.
are we talking about?
But about 15 minutes after they laid down, Ethan and Danny heard footsteps in the area around their campsite, over by where the fire was. They came from the direction of the bushes toward the inland behind them, a direction that was not traversable by people.
The fuck?
The couple lay there, hoping it was just a bear or any animal, because the only bears on the island are black bears, which usually are very timid around people. The footsteps went from the fire, then over to the tent, then back into the woods. 5 minutes later, the footsteps came back again to the fire, and now, clear as day, there were two female voices talking gibberish very loudly. Their communication was not resembling any languages known to Ethan or Danny, and they seemed to be talking over each other, having what could barely be considered to be a conversation at full volume in the dead of night very far away from civilization, without using lights to navigate through the dense brush relatively quietly in a direction that seemed impossible to traverse on foot. The two voices moved from the fire pit area over to the tent, still talking at a loud volume. They stood over the tent talking for a few.
You turn off the lights. This is gonna make it a little more, you feel me, interesting. Like, it's gonna make it like a little more scarier, because the voiceover ain't doing it, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Then went completely dead as night silence. They went back into the woods to never be seen or heard again. Ethan and Danny lay there completely frozen and afraid for a long time. They woke up around 11 a.m. the next day because of how late they fell asleep. They packed up first thing and never returned. The couple probably made the best decision to remain quiet in the tent, not drawing attention to themselves from whoever or whatever was outside the tent. The following pictures you're about to see were taken by hikers Kylie Cashwell and John Stone, who both live in Eagle Mountain, Utah, a small town south of Salt Lake City. For the past few years, they had been exploring forests in search of interesting things, and one day they found it. One day Kylie was hiking in Cedar Fort, just 5 miles south of Salt Lake City. While hiking, she found large amounts of animal bones and piles of junk people had dumped. But things started to get strange when she started coming across strange symbols and animal parts scattered throughout the forest, some of them in weird formations. On September 15th...
Bro, you're in a ritual site. You're in a spot where they do rituals. Why are you even there? Get out of there, bro.
She decided to bring her friend Josh along with her to show him in person the unusual things she was finding.
Like what?
This time, the two came across something even more disturbing. On the trail, there was a severed deer head and a pentagram surrounded by deer legs, which were not there the first time Kylie walked the trail.
What the
sun was going down, and after getting their pictures, they agreed it was time to head back to the car. The more they walked, they realized they didn't recognize the path they were on. So the two start looking around for anything that could refresh their memory of where they were. But as it got dark out, the two accepted that they were lost. With nothing but their phone flashlights to navigate, they started getting the feeling they were being watched. As they picked up their pace, the two started to hear the trees and bushes moving at least 20 feet to their right, made more concerning by the fact that there was no wind that night. The two started to panic and hurried onto a trail they found, hoping it would take them back to Kylie's car.
But it
Just when things couldn't seem to get any worse, Kylie and Josh heard a scream so deep and horrific that it sounded neither human nor animal. The two sprinted down the trail, Kylie making a conscious effort not to look back, but Josh did. And Josh claimed to see a large black figure on the trail behind them, too big to be a human. The two made it to the car by some stroke of luck, losing whatever was chasing them. So they left the forest and went straight home. Upon doing research, Kylie found documents of common cult practices reported in those woods.
I told you, bro.
As well as numerous murders and disappearances that happened in the area throughout the years.
You're bugging.
Like Ethan and Danny in the first story, Kylie has not returned since.
You shouldn't have.
Deep in the woods in northern Germany, two friends were hiking in an area formerly territory of the German Democratic Republic when they came across these strange periscope-like pipes protruding from the ground. Feeling either brave or foolish, they decided to investigate further. They discovered a doorway hidden behind several bushes, covered by a...
It's always these dumb ass niggas that's doing some bullshit. But the thing is about these, that's why I always believe these, is because they don't sit there and record what they're experiencing. The first thing they do is run, or they do some other shit. They don't take out their phone and be like, "Oh my gosh, look what's following me," like everybody else. So it don't make no sense.
What they found hidden beneath the ground is a pretty disturbing piece of history. The doorway led to a huge abandoned army bunker. There were several tunnels leading off in different directions, which intersected a long central corridor. There were so many different directions to go that exploring the place felt like going through a maze to the two friends. They tried not to stray far away from each other in fear of getting lost. That's how big the place was. As they ventured deeper into the structure, they came across German writing on the wall, which translated to help. Curiosity still got the better of them, and they continued deeper into the bunker, this time reading, "Hello, Satan, I love you." Some of the rooms and corridors were flooded and smelled like sewage. They made their way into a very large room with a strange machine in the center. It's very possible the previous occupants had fled the bunker in a hurry, as there was a single shoe still stuck in the sludge on the floor. Why wouldn't someone have time to grab one shoe unless they were in a hurry? The structure was believed to be an old military bunker, possibly used for shelter by the Nazis during World War II. But why did the soldiers seemingly leave in such a hurry? And whether they were the ones who had written the warning messages on the walls.
They probably flooded it. The people that were after them. Obviously.
In this last story, for the person's safety, I'll refer to him as Just Bill. Bill is an avid hiker who in 2016 was visiting his brother upstate New York near Downsville. Bill's brother owns a small house and a barn up there, and from time to time Bill and other family members would go up to visit. This was in the late fall, and so the foliage was already mostly orange, and more than half of the leaves had fallen off the trees. Bill was hiking a narrow trail which was not far from his brother's place.
They got it, bro.
This trail is in the middle of a very rural area.
I know it says disturbing encounters in the woods, but why are people always like doing some dumb shit in the woods, bro? Like, what made you go in the woods at nighttime, like right when the sun is going down? No, you don't have nothing on your fucking no flashlight, no nothing. Make it make fucking sense,
property to property. So when Bill stumbled across a duffel bag on the ground in the middle of the woods, it was a surprise. The duffel bag looked like it was relatively new. It didn't look dirty, as if it had been sitting in the woods for an extended period of time. There was a foul odor emanating from the bag, however, like something rotting inside. Bill assumed the worst, but he knew he had to open the bag to see what's inside, in case it actually could have been a person.
Literally could have just called the cops.
He was building up the courage to open the zipper to the bag, but before he could, he heard footsteps approaching from off the trail, and a voice saying, "That's mine, please don't touch it." A large man in a dirty jacket and jeans was quickly approaching from the woods and grabbed the duffel bag off the ground. The two exchanged looks for a moment.
What the fuck?
Bill told the man he assumed the bag was forgotten by someone, and the man told him he was storing his kill from his hunt in the bag. Even though Bill isn't a hunter, he knew it's standard to use a cooler for storing fresh kill.
Nobody uses that shit for a fucking, like, what?
This also wouldn't explain the foul smell so soon, as usually dead bodies only start to smell after a few days, not right after death. So he apologized and continued walking down the trail, with a little more speed in his step. It's likely the man noticed Bill's nervousness, because he heard the duffel bag get dropped on the floor as he was walking away. But as he looked back, he didn't see the man anymore. Bill nervously continued along the trail, taking out his phone to try to call his brother for an emergency pickup by the road, but he didn't have any reception in the woods. All he could do was press forward and avoid crossing paths with that man again. But as he continued on, he kept hearing leaves crunching from not far behind him, and any time he'd look back, the coast seemed clear. But eventually, his fear that he was being followed became real. He saw that man following him in the distance in a stalkerish manner, hiding behind a tree. Without thinking, Bill started to run as fast.
Bro, imagine you're in the woods, you walking, bro. Dude is like this. Like, what the fuck? That's some weird shit right
down the trail.
That's
he knew
some weird
he was being followed without even looking back, because he could hear the leaves being crushed from not too far behind him. Bill came to an abandoned-looking property with overgrown grass, and having grown too winded to continue running, he attempted entry to the old house through the back door, and was able to get inside. Bill hid under a cot in the first bedroom he found, and he heard the back door open again, followed by heavy footsteps moving in a hurry. They went from room to room, and Bill could hear the man's heavy breathing from also being out of breath. The man's footsteps came into the bedroom just for a second and left right after. He didn't look under either of the two cots. Bill heard the back door to the house open and slam shut again, but he laid under the cot for another half an hour, not taking any risks. He only got up when he realized it would be dark soon, and he needed to get to a road to call for help. He proceeded to leave the house and run down the dirt trail by the house that was most likely once used as a driveway, which led him to a road. From here, he eventually hitched a ride with a passing car, who gave Bill a lift back to his brother's house, where Bill would call the local police department and report his encounter. Given the...
I don't believe this one. You're scared and you hitchhike with a person you don't know. Not even knowing that it could be the fucking guy that literally just chased you. Make it make sense, bro.
Severity of the case.
What?
Police would show up to the house to get a more detailed description of the man's face, the location it happened, and other information. Though it was never technically confirmed what was in that duffel bag, the rotting smell would already be clue enough. But the fact that the man so intently chased after Bill shows that he was hiding something that he didn't want any witnesses for, most likely dumping a dead body.
That's wild. Hey, man, that's a great video, though, man. I really do like, I love his videos. I ain't gonna lie. Fire videos, man. Y'all don't have like that reaction video, man. Type scary, a little bit scary, not too scary, man. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that post notification bell, man. As always, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace and love, video out.